I've been asked to do an update on Greater Green by Miss Havisham, and in the description you'll find a link showing the amount of green in Sheffield in the 1980s. So when Sheffield City Council talk about Greater Green, they're having a laugh on us. It's a bit like the Ministry of Truth. There was far much more green in Sheffield in the past than what we've got now, and this Greater Green is just a token bit of greenery for us. I think it's also to try and entice people to live in the city centre in the big flats that they're developing. But this is going to be an extension of the Greater Green. We're spending £16.5 million on Tenter Street. Now, I worked around here for 15 years and it's completely waste of money. Told it wasn't necessary to do this work, but what they're doing is they're putting a cycle lane down either side of Tenter Street, and then they're putting in green where you can see these sort of areas. So what we'll do is we'll walk down to where they're going to put the Dutch roundabout, which is another contentious thing. So you can see more of where the green's going to go, and it's going to be either side with a cycle lane on either side. So you can see the museum there, National Emergency Museum. The Dutch roundabout's going right here, and my understanding is they were advised by the people advising them not to put a Dutch roundabout in here because of the problems they'd actually had in Cambridge. But I'll just see if I can get a better angle on where the roundabout's going, but you can see all the work going ahead now on the Dutch roundabout and cycle lanes. So there's going to be the area of the Dutch roundabout, and we'll get across to the Greater Green area. But it's already starting to look a bit run down. I know it's probably a bad time to come. I mean, we're nearly in May, so we're in spring, but you can see it's already worn through just here. But I had flowers put down the side of my property by the council. There's some spare land, got it all cleaned up, and the first year it was brilliant, second year not so good, third year it deteriorated, and 4 or 5 years later it's completely gone. It's just grass. So you can see the state of the Greater Green already. See the litter in here. The thing is, wouldn't you chosen plants to be coming earlier in spring? And like I said, it's been a bad spring so far, but wouldn't you plant it so you got colour all the time? But there's certainly lots of litter in here. Now, one of the things that Sheffield Council can't get right is maintenance. We had a fantastic Goodwin fountains, which have now gone. It just wasn't maintained very well, as you can see. The vanity projects, and council loses interest in them in the end. But I want to show you the area around it as well. It's not really drawing people in, is it? Now, that was an old cinema. I think that was the Don Cinema just there. Just up there was an old pub. See the modern type buildings. That's Crown House. I think that's flats. And you've got the modern court building up there. But you can see the Greater Green. I mean, there's just rubbish everywhere in it. And this is what Miss Havisham's been saying. If they don't have it, I mean, this should be cleaned up daily. Every time I come past the guys in the canal basin, the litter pickers, they're always sat there having a cup of coffee. Probably I catch them on the moment when they're having a cup of coffee, but and you can see already around here, look at it, it's not maintained. But like if you look at the video from 1985 at the Green in Sheffield, we had flower pots all around Sheffield. We had it around the hole in the road, inside the hole in the road, outside the station. It was lovely and green. And you know, this is their token effort of green, but they can't even maintain this. Look at it, just rubbish everywhere. That's not been cleaned. Litter peak for how long now? But it's already looking pretty bad. I mean, as you can see, I didn't think it'd last very long. They say that they're doing it to green things up and also to stop flooding. Well, if they hadn't removed all the green at the top end of Sheffield in the city centre, there probably wouldn't be as much flooding anyway, because the water wouldn't be pouring out the city centre. They've cut down the size of the peace gardens. You know, it's probably not even a quarter of the size of grass it used to be. It's now concrete. That would have been a massive sink to drain away the water. It's just an agenda driven that they get bored with. Now, they did put a really nice fountain outside the railway station. Now, the stainless steel one still works at the moment. See, same again there. That's not been cleaned. I bet that's not been picked for months. Doesn't take a lot for one of these litter pickers to come round here once a day and pick stuff out, really doesn't. But yeah, sorry, I was going on about the actual fountains and whatever outside the railway station. Well, there's a big stone one there and that's not worked for years. It's the maintenance. They just put these vanity projects in and don't maintain them. Well, the intentions are good, but if you don't have a maintenance contract. But to me it's looking very sorry this year. Like first year it looked great, second year not so good, third year it's looking, needs continual work on it. But you're starting to see more gravel than you're actually seeing greenery, and it's not going to spread and cover gravel. So it's more like green to grey. So we're now at Bridge Street, and Bridge Street used to have a small bus station here. This was a thriving area, Snighill and Angel Street, absolutely thriving area. Now I understand there's a couple of cafes there, but the footfall's so bad. I mean, I'm trying to think, it's 12 o'clock at the moment Saturday. This area would have been absolutely humming with people in the past. Yeah, you've seen a few people around, but that's it, not a lot. So we've got a bit more grey to green up Snighill. And Angel Street, but that's about all there is up there. But look at these benches. I mean, I know if it's my garden, I'm sort of repainting this sort of stuff every year. But that's looking pretty tacky already, isn't it, folks? And then there's another bit up here, I'll just show you up here. Now I don't know if that's the idea for it to rust or whether it's just bad. Looks pretty sorry, doesn't it, folks? So there's a bit more grey to green up there. I'm not going to bother going further up there because I want to take you a bit further round. In fact, yeah, we will walk up here because I'll show you the area around it. This was the Black Swan boardwalk. So we're walking up Sniggill at the moment. It was interesting, I watched a Mark Bannerman video last week and I'm sure he'd actually got a police car in this bus stop pointing the wrong way. And he had a word with police asking him why they hadn't parked it in here, because they've got big car parks in here. One rule for police and another rule for you and me. But it's so sad, like this was a once thriving area. Online shopping, Meadowhall and places like that have had some impact, but most of the damage has been done by Sheffield City Council trying to kill off car traffic. Now we've got the co-op here, Castle House Co-op, and they've got the Commune pub in here. And on the way out of Sheffield, when I brought my dad in the other day, he asked me whether we could stop in a cafe and have a cup of tea and a bun. And I looked through the window and I've never seen anywhere. There's Tacker. So we've got the cutlery in tin cans, and the floors were concrete and you could see all the divots in the concrete. Well, that's the Commune Cafe there. There's a beautiful spiral staircase in there, and it's been hidden by the actual area where they take the money in there. It's a real shame, because if they actually opened up that spiral staircase, they'd create some atmosphere in there. But to me, I won't touch that place with a barge pole. I bet the prices aren't cheap either. You're certainly not paying for any decor in there from what I looked through the window. I thought it was okay when I walked past, and when my dad asked to go in somewhere, I looked it through the window and I thought, you don't look very exclusive to me, don't look very classy. Got a bit of Sheffield's history still up there, Steelman. I don't know whether he worked on an open hearth furnace or on an electric arc furnace. But that's down Castle Street, dead, into the Dead A Market. So we'll get back down to Bridge Street and pick up from there. So like I say, you can see the boardwalk. I used to come dancing there in 2000 an evening. Learned to salsa dance in there. That was the old ABC Cinema. Somebody told me it weren't there. I can show you it. The AB Cinema was right there. Takes you down Queen Street and Bank Street down there. But I just want to give you a feel for the area around here as well. But you've not seen a cyclist, have you? Unless the cyclist has gone round my back. But you're probably more aware of seeing the cyclist today than me. But I just want to show you in these cafes down here, because if people remember the cafes from the 1950s, 60s, 70s, they're always packed with people. Now they're opening a new, well, what they call in the largest food hall in Europe on Cambridge Street, and none of these venues are full. There's that many food places in Sheffield. But I thought I'd just give you a close up. I've been showing my dad these videos for ages. That's another cafe. I don't look like that one's open anymore. So I've been showing my dad all these videos, and until I brought him and showed him walking him down Fargate, he just didn't realise how bad these food places were, how many there were. I mean, that does look quite nice, but there's nobody in them. But this is prime industrial land that we should have developed into modern industry, and we're just building more and more of this stuff. We're not creating any wealth in the UK. I mean, we've got a deficit on our balance of payments because we don't actually make anything. It's all right, the City of London and all of that, which might benefit London, but that still doesn't cover our overheads, and we're going to be a debt-ridden economy if we're not careful. We need to start producing again, cleanly. See the old brewery there. Sheffield used to be bustling, it was just so different, so much diversity. Shopping, entertainment, industry. I've had somebody come on my video and say you don't have industry in city centres. Well, we did in Sheffield, and that's how Sheffield developed. And it was thriving. Looking at the Greater Green. But it's not like a lot of people are getting benefit of the greenery because we're hardly seeing anybody. So at the bottom end of Waingate, look at it. It's just sad. That's looking down to the Wicker, dead. It used to be absolutely buzzing, the Wicker. It was a big, busy shopping area. But there's the old town hall. Tap and Barrel pub being closed, and this was a main artery road in Sheffield. That would have been a main artery road, so you cut the arteries off, you kill it. We'll carry on walking and having a look at the Greater Green. I'm just wondering if we should call it green to weed. Because do so much more, but this should be a main artery road for Sheffield. Took you through to Penistone Road. So you can see that what was the old Castle Market up there, been developed into a park. This isn't so bad round here compared with the other side that I've took you on earlier. I'm not seeing much rubbish in here, and it's still quite covered in greenery once it starts to colour up. We've got the telltale signs, more graffiti, rusted already. But anybody who's got a garden, you have to look after it, don't you? If you don't paint things, they rust. So at some stage all this area will be green as well. How well maintained it'll be, I don't know. We had a gardening department in the past in Sheffield City Council, potting plants and all sorts. And that's the other thing, Kate Joseph gets 250 grand a year. Chief Executive of Sheffield City Council, the lady who locked the country down, gets 250 grand a year to run Sheffield, and she's killing Sheffield now. So somebody started that with the intention of it being a lovely cafe by the river. I think it ended up shutting down in lockdown. Now it looks a nice place, but it's dead. Just a quick look down Blanc Street. But I really want to show you not just the Greater Green, but I just want to show you the lack of people around here. Now those buildings, I think it's something to do with the actual fascias on them, something to do with the fire risk side of them, rather than them deteriorating. But how many more we'll find out that there's a fire risk? Correct me if I'm wrong, but they did move people out of this building temporary, the flats, and I think there's some offices they're converting into flats, but I understand they moved them out because of fire risk for a time, and I think that's why the fascia's been replaced, or they've deteriorated, whatever. I love this building. We're in front of there's a beautiful foyer that could be a bar or whatever. I think that was the original intentions. But look at Blanc Street, it's just like some after Doctor Who movie, an apocalyptic scene. Must be getting past 12 o'clock on a Saturday morning at the moment. So the Greater Green's better round here. But I'm going to say it's going to last 5 years. The tops going from the plants down the side of my house, because they need tending. You can't just plant them and not tend them. So that's where the Victoria railway station was. Great Central Railway, vested interest, closed it down. Ernest Marples, the Transport Minister at the time, had a road haulage and a road building business, and I think he got beaching to make it unprofitable to run the railways, when it'd have been better off investing in the railways and making them work. But that's the problem, vested interests. So we're down the bottom end of Exchange Street, where the Castle Market would have been. So there was a Castle Market somewhere outside here at one bit, but then it became up there. This used to be a main road as well, so the more you actually remove roads, the more you kill off your actual customers. These people just won't learn. It's not Meadowhall that killed Sheffield City Centre, it's the council. Where they built up down here was Maltravers car park. It was an absolute massive car park. It's quite a cheap car park. You used to just come straight down the parkway and park here, and then all this area had got parking around it as well, so people could get in. So we've got a bit of a sign here on Castlegate. Could do much more with our history by having small museums around the city centre. But I think the snooker's on into it today. So this should be drawing people into Sheffield, shouldn't it, the snooker? So I don't know if this greater green is later greater green compared with where I came from, the court buildings, but that gives you an idea where the court buildings, how it's deteriorated so much. It's probably going to start looking like that down here in the end. There's probably no litter because there's no footfall around here at all. Well, that's just a quick view of the greater green for Miss Havisham, but also to show people the wider picture. But how many cyclists have you seen on my walk around today? And I'm not exactly rushed around here, have I? So all these cycle lanes, have you seen anybody today that I've not been aware of while I've been filming, because I sometimes switch off? So that's it. If you can like the video, follow the channel, click on notifications for new videos.